shit that actually does have some overlap with work.
Okay, so we are now live. What's going on, Sina? If you don't know who Sina is, he is the COO of
Let's
Lions
just cut
Digital. Basically, he makes a lot of money. All right, that's all you need to know. And he's found 2 high-tech startups. He's worked with several Fortune 500 companies, and now he's here doing a YouTube show with me.
I don't make a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know what, $25 a day. Did you hit that yet?
Huh?
Did you hit $25 a day yet?
$25 an hour. That's my
Oh,
goal.
okay. Sorry. All right. So we are short on time today, so we only have 45 minutes. So, Sina, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about our deal with the famous athlete and how we plan on marketing that over the course of the next year? Would you rather talk about the lead gen for solar? Kind of talking
Let's
a
talk
little
about
bit
the
about.
Legion because that's actually kind of quick too, and it's we were
Okay.
just talking about it today.
Okay, so the deal with that is there's my friend Alex in California. He does solar cleaning, and he has an exclusive deal with a company that makes an automatic system for cleaning solar panels. So his whole thing that he wants to do is basically do lead gen for residential and commercial for those who want that cleaning system. It's like $2,500 for a residential. He profits like $700, but the margins are just way too low on residential cleaning. So he didn't want to do the traditional model where he just pays $100 per lead. So as you mentioned earlier on text, you had a different idea. So just dive right into it.
So, so the thing is, anytime a person kind of wants to, because in personal injury, this is something similar they do. They're like, oh, you know what? I don't want the deal with the guy or girl who got hit with the like sidebar or anything like that. I want, what the hell's calling me? Hold on a second. I'm as I have to count.
All right. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to be talking about the fear of success. So, for anybody listening right now, I've been listening to a really cool
I'm back.
podcast,
Sorry.
and Sina is back.
Yeah. So okay, so this is the deal. When you're doing shit like for example the lead generation or like any kind of business you're doing, unless you're like an employee or something like that, like if you are actually doing a business, there is risk involved.
Mhm.
Okay. And the reason you kind of make more money or less money, it's all comes back to the risk. Okay. So a lot of people are okay with shouldering the risk. A lot of people are okay with not shouldering the risk and just paying for it. So it's kind of like you have to choose between either the money or the risk. You know what I mean? You can't
Mhm.
have both. But like in personal injury, I was saying, or like in dental, in any niche, these things exist. You know what? Hey, I don't want the client that's just gonna margin 10, 15%, or like be $1,000, $2,000 deal. I want the client who's a $10,000 deal. You know, I want those
Yeah.
big, like in personal injury, they call it, they want the truck accidents, because it's literally like whenever a semi truck hits somebody and it goes to the court, there is really good chance someone is either dead or like life altering injury. So it's not a fender bender. You know, when there's a semi truck involved, it's not a fender bender. So they're like, oh, I want only those leads. Okay, so as somebody who is marketing things out there, like on Google social media, you can't control that I only want this type of accidents to contact me. Okay. So those other guys, like the fender bender, small accidents, somebody who maybe even slipped and like fell inside of a casino or like something stupid, silly like that. Those guys gonna eventually contact, and it's gonna be a majority of those guys. The only way this relationship will be successful if there is somebody who takes care of everything,
Right.
and he would be like, or she would be like, you know what, I'm running a personal injury firm, and the only way I can grow is that if I take everything, and then from everything I either have a system that I outsource to smaller ones and I focus on the bigger claim, or I will eventually make a system to handle everybody, and eventually 10% or 5% of any kind of case that comes along my way, will be those big cases. Okay. As a marketer, that's who you want to work with. Because if it's the other way around and they want you to shoulder the risk, so that means that suddenly you are the one who's allocating that, hey, like the small deals goes to this guy, the big deals goes to that guy. That's not your job, you know? Don't do what is not your job, you know?
Right.
So in the case of this guy, the solar guy, uh, it's a great idea. He's saying, oh, okay, you know what? I go in and yes, a cleaning job costs 150 bucks, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, something fell
And
down
like
there.
a
So
client only gets it like once or twice a year.
yes, but at the same time, he has the chance to sell him the automatic thing too, right?
Yeah.
That's where the money is. So yes, it's maybe a 150 job, but then $150 job, but he maybe likes to upsell him something like the higher tier items, whatever it was, the
Yeah.
automatic system cleaning, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So yes, he might be making 50, 100 bucks because he still makes money, doesn't he? In the small cleaning jobs.
Well, if it's $150 for a residential cleaning job, he's only
Yeah.
going to be profiting 60 after he pays out his guys and
Wait. How is it possible for it to be $150 job? I thought his margin is 150.
mm-mm. It's about $150 per job.
Has anybody ever like? Have you ever had anything repaired? That I just challenge that number.
That's
Isn't
what
these solar panels on the roof?
Yeah.
How is it possible for anybody to enter your property, go on the roof, and charge you 150 bucks? That's literally impossible.
It might be I think it might
Dude,
be like
that
two it might
number,
be like
I
200
thought
to
I thought it
300.
was $150 margin. Because
No.
$150 job
Yeah.
it's just I just find it impossible. Like a lot of these kind of like trade, because this sounds like you need to have some sort of an insurance, because I assume solar
Right.
panels are on the steel on the roof and stuff like that. Dude, we're talking about somebody at least what, 75 bucks an hour, you know, and then they
Yeah.
have to travel to location, do all that for how much
Even
to
if it was a $300 job, I think his margins are only like 60 to 80, like as the business owner.
okay, you know what? I want to spend an hour how to have their solar panels clean. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong, depending on the factors such as roof, blah, blah, blah.
But the bottom line is he's trying to get out. Like he doesn't want to deal with residential cleaning. He said he's been doing that the last 4 years, and it's just like so many companies are like getting in now. So he wants to
Okay,
focus
some
on.
charge a flat rate within a range of 150 to 350. So 150 is on a way lower side.
Yeah.
How can you make money doing this? Is it like a like illegal labor?
Slave labor.
Undocumented immigrants?
Well, I
How is
mean,
that possible?
it's sort of like, when he takes into account the insurance, paying the employees, the gas, the trucks, the
So
time.
how is that possible to do this job for $150? That's the part I don't understand.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong saying that it's $150, but I know that it's
No, I googled it. I googled that.
yeah, like I don't know. Maybe they do it in like 20 minutes, and if they can knock out 4 in an hour or something like that, you know what I mean?
I don't know. So it needs more. So, but from what I did understood is like, so who doesn't clean their own solar panel?
Everyone.
Somebody probably, like, you know what I mean? It's not like somebody, because it's not a complicated job at all. They literally just, it's kind of like window washing on the roof,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. But I assume a person who hires somebody like that is somebody who's kind of like they need like maintenance on it. You know, maybe they need automatic cleaning on it.
Yeah.
Maybe they need like the maintenance on the solar panel, as in like the batteries, the electrical system, and stuff. I have no idea how solar. I mean, I know how solar panels work, but like I never owned one, I never cleaned one, so it's not my area of expertise. And you know what? I don't want to be an expert in solar panels either.
I don't want to just
But so that's the point. Is I don't want to work with anybody who is trying to talk to me about solar panels. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I want somebody to say, you know what, solar panel, if somebody wants it clean, forward them to me. I'll take care of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's the price? I don't know. It could be 150, could be 2,000 bucks, you know? So like, So I want somebody to talk like that. So because that way they can grow, then we can grow with them, you know?
Yeah.
But if we want to, if in this case here, back to the story, if we want to shoulder the risk, I don't want to shoulder the risk at all. I'm good at what I'm doing, which is like generating leads and stuff for these kind of things. And if it's a case like this, in a traditional marketing model, you charge a management fee plus the ad spend. And the management fee is usually a number dollar, like a monthly dollar amount, plus a percentage fee or whatever is more, you know? So like, or sorry,
A
a
percentage
fixed
fee
fee.
of profit?
No, no, the ad spend.
Oh.
You know, so it's kind of like I'm trying to figure out the proposals I wrote before, because as you know, we don't do deals like that anymore. But I am, where did I have this thing? This should be under LDS folder. So here, Lions, blah, blah. The new lead, blah, blah. George. Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. Here, I think I have it here. I want to say $5,000 or 2,000 or 15%, whichever is more. That's kind of like my gut feeling, but I want to actually have some referral to it.
2,000 or 15%?
I would say 5,000, but for him, we'll do it for 2,000 because I know he doesn't have 5,000.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, out of that 2,000, how much would we be spending on ads per month?
Oh no, this is on top of the ads.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what I mean. Absolutely no risk.
Yeah.
So that's the point. Is if we're not a single person run marketing agency, so we're not like sitting on our hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I talked with one of our guys, and he said, what did he say? Here, he said there is enough volume. He said the cost per lead, assuming 15% conversion rate, is somewhere around $50, you know? So if a person, by the time somebody calls him, it will cost us about $50. Mm-hmm. Okay. For us to shoulder all the risk of basically the opportunity cost, the training, like all these like investment we made, like training these guys with like media buyers and then making the ads and running the campaign and managing the campaign and stuff like that. Usually in consulting work, you're looking at a factor of 3, but I think I told the guy 2, right? So I said $100 a lead.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So all our overhead is in consulting work. Usually you multiply it by 3. So here I was like, okay, you know what? We do it at a factor of 2. So that is if he takes every lead. So that's with the 15%. But if he's going to be like, you know what, $150 job for me doesn't worth it. Okay, so this is our challenge. I really have a hard time understanding that $150 cleaning job, unless it's literally a bare bone cleaning job, which it shouldn't be. Like there has to be some sort of maintenance. Yes, you may get called to go cleaning, but then like obviously this is what I was going with this. Anybody who calls you to go clean the solar panels, really good chance is that they haven't done shit for the solar panels for like years, you know?
Yeah.
Or like they have no idea that they need to even change the battery, or like they need to like if it's broken or not, you know what I mean?
He said that he doesn't want to, like, regardless, even if he did make $120 profit off of a $350 cleaning job or a $400 cleaning job, he said he just doesn't want to do the residential cleaning. He said he's interested in targeting like the solar farms that are doing at least a 75 kilowatt system, which I don't know how many solar panels that is.
Okay, so that's great idea. You know, that's great idea. But guess what? If you are a 75 kilowatt solar farm, do you really think they go on Google, try to figure out like
he said yes. He said he ran Facebook ads a long time ago, and that's how he got his clients that were out and like doing solar farm. And he said that there's thousands of these in California.
You know what? Good for him. He pay, so that's the thing. That's the risk I don't want to take.
Yeah.
So if he's so confident in it, I'll tell you what, we run the very best, most efficient campaigns you can find.
Right.
But he pays for it. He pays for the overhead. He pays for everything. And if everybody, like we can put in, hey, you know what? If you have less than 10 kilowatt, you said 15?
75.
75. 75. If you have less than 75 kilowatt or even 50 kilowatt, don't even bother
Yeah.
filling out this form. You know what I mean? Or like whatever. Yes. So if that's the case, and if he thinks those guys go online if he thinks a solar farm goes on Google, looks for cleaner, when they can hire cleaner for when a residential, because okay, if a residential is hiring cleaners for $150, okay, so that tells me there are so many cleaners out there that that market is just so easy to find cleaners. Okay. Yeah. If I'm a solar farm, which I mean, I don't know 75. I mean, I should know this, I guess, because I'm an engineer, but like I have 75, I'm not an electrical engineer though. So 75 kilowatt, it doesn't sound small to me, you know? Like,
Right.
what's the house consumption? I don't know. Or a 75 kilowatt solar farm. Let's just see. So I'm looking at some photos okay, so I'm looking at the solar farm is okay, a 40, this is like a 40 kilowatt. I'm looking at something like 75. Like, you know what? I find that very hard to believe. I find it very hard. I don't find it hard to believe that these things exist, by the way, and there are a lot of them. I find it hard to believe that these guys go on Google, try to look for cleaners when they can find one cleaner and then they contract that project out to that guy and they get an extremely great rate for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's so cheap. If there's so many cleaners out there, why would this guy go out and try to hire a cleaner? It just doesn't make any sense. If I'm selling these solar farms to these guys,
yeah,
I have a list. If I'm a supplier of solar panels, I have a list of all these guys, and probably my buddy is a cleaner. You know,
right.
I give the list to that guy. I'm like, hey, these are all leads. These guys all need cleaning in a year. Give them a call.
What about somebody who's Googling solar panel like automatic cleaner? Somebody who's actually looking for a cleaning system, like they're tired of paying somebody.
That's what I mean, man. That's what I mean. B2B people don't buy stuff online. It's not that they don't buy anything online. They do, but it's not a systematic way.
Yeah.
It's not like retail. I'll give you an example. There's a good friend of mine and like actually kind of like a mentor of mine. And he owns a company, bought a company, private equity deal. He owned a company that produced parkings for sensors. Sorry, sensor for parkings. Okay. Mm-hmm. And when I mean parkings, I don't mean like your garage. I mean like a
parking garage.
Like a high-rise parking.
Yeah.
Like that kind of like sensors and stuff like that. And it's industrial grade, and each sensor is like $2-3 grand. And when you obviously, again, it's not a garage. So when you're in the market for those, you don't look for one or two. You probably look for 20 of them. You know,
yeah,
it's a giant sky rise or whatever they call it. Or you have an auto shop. You know what I mean? Mm. So you have to have these like regulations there, but it's like usually more than one. So average purchase order for that client is probably like around like $5-10 grand or something like that, you know, and they're doing well. So he was talking to me. We did a little bit of a lead generation for them, but I told him from the beginning, I was like, man, these guys who buy this kind of stuff, we can run a test campaign, but these guys don't go online. And I'm like, industrial grade CO sensor. And oh yeah, $5 grand. I mean, 1,005 of them, add to basket, check out. That's not how this works.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy who literally, the contractor who built the freaking tower 10 years ago, 5 years ago, he has a list of suppliers that he buys his stuff from him. And guess what? He probably buys all the lights from the same guy. He probably buys all the fire suppression system from the same guy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it goes through the distributors and stuff like that.
Right.
When it comes to maintaining these things, this because this is so this similar solar panels, these things need maintenance, but even better than solar panels, the maintenance on these systems, because its safety is actually regulated by the law. So you have to inspect them every 1 year or every 2 years. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Well, when the guy is selling it to them, he knows they have to maintain him every year or every 2 years. So what do you think he's going to do? He's going to say, hey, buddy, you know you have to maintain this every 2 years. Why don't you sign a 5-year contract for me right now, and I do all the maintenance for this for the next 5 years?
Right.
You know what I mean? This is how B2B works. If for some reason that firm goes bankrupt in the 5 years that has the contract, which is rare because they have a 5-year contract probably with a lot of guys. If that happens, the property manager or the building owner is not going to go on Google and try. He's going to be at the next like property management meeting or like from his friends and stuff like that, or the high-rise tower next door. He's going to be like, oh yeah, who you guys have for your cleaning your solar panels or servicing your sensors in this case. I said, oh yeah, we got this company like down in like this, like whatever, they have like 20 vans, they're great guys, they have a team. That's how those contracts are won. It's
Right.
not won in Google.
Yeah.
Or
I agree.
or
I agree.
you know what? I may be proven wrong, but I don't want to pay for it.
I see. So
If you
essentially, it's
think
like,
this is not how it works, great, great. You know what? These lists probably each worth $1,000, $2,000 each, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Great. So I manage a campaign for you, and my estimate is it's going to be about $100 a lead. But I don't think these guys going to be there. I think the $100 a lead estimate of people who are actually going to come in and click on it, a lot of them going to be the single lady, like with divorced husband, or like maybe the guys like traveling
the
or
price
stuff like that.
shoppers.
Yeah, it's gonna be someone like that, or maybe somebody who's like 70 years old and has a house. He has solar panels, and he and his wife living there, but he doesn't want to go on a roof and start cleaning his solar panel.
Right.
My intuition, based on my experience, I think those people are gonna be on Google,
Right.
not the guys taking care of the 75 kilowatt solar panel farm or solar farm.
Yeah.
That's my intuition, and if I'm wrong, good for him. He's gonna make a lot of money.
So I think that what I'm hearing is basically he wants to service B2B. He wants to get these
Yeah.
deals with the contractors, but the approach that we're thinking of like traditional lead gen and flipping the leads is not the right solution for what he wants to do.
Is not the right solution for B2B, period.
What
It's not.
would be the better option for him to go and like pitch this automatic cleaning system to a 1 gigawatt farm
Pick up the
where
phone and call.
yeah,
That's what he needs to do. He needs to go out, actively get a list of these farms. And I assume these farms are selling to states or like some utility companies,
yeah,
So probably there is some sort of, because like when you go down that road, there has to be some regulation. There has to be some like request. What do they call it? Public Information Act or whatever.
mm-hmm.
So there has to be some sort of a list somewhere in one of these government agencies of all the solar farms selling power to the state. And there has to be a contact and name and phone number. Somebody has pick up the phone or email, start calling this guy. And it's like, oh, who do you guys have? And I guarantee you, if I'm wrong, he's going to make a lot of money. But if I'm right, the conversation is going to be like, hey, who you guys have for your solar panel cleaning? Oh yeah, we have like this company who's doing that. And then, oh yeah, you really? Oh, like how does it work? Oh yeah, we have a 10-year contract. And he's not just doing a solar panel cleaning. He's coming here. He's like, I don't know, like servicing the fire system. He's doing the inspection on like the CO monitors. He's doing servicing the Wi-Fi. It's just one company that does it. And it's a giant company too,
yeah.
So that's how B2B works.
Hmm.
I may be wrong. I have no idea how solar panel works because we don't have much of it in Vancouver at all.
Well,
actually, we don't have any solar panel.
The good news is I'm gonna send him a link to the stream after we're done, and I'll be like, "You watch this, take notes, and let me know what you think." And then
yeah, I mean,
we'll
again, I would think there is a possibility he might be right, but I from my personal experience, especially because I worked in industry too, obviously he knows a lot more than about solar. Maybe you can have that conversation with him. Say, hey, how, like, because he already sold this to other people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how did he find those other people? Did you ask him that?
Referrals.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Referral, because the farm manager or whoever it is ask his buddy and figure it out. I don't know how that Facebook marketing campaign went out, but
He said he did that like a long time ago, like years ago. He hasn't done ads in a long time. All of his business up until now has been referrals.
yeah, because I think the only way these business people work, like in this kind of B2B, is referral. That's what I was just talking about. Is like when the guy, it's either referral from your friend who sells these panels to these guys, or it's a referral from one of the fellow farm manager or whatever they call him, plant
Yeah.
superintendent or whatever. It's a referral that way.
Hmm.
Doesn't mean he can't do cold outreach, which basically picking up the phone and calling these guys.
But basically the result, I guess the recap is like, it's not a good idea to do an ad on Google at the top with the classic keyword generator, the one-to-one keyword system that we use, and trying to do it for commercial farms that need maintenance or
Yes,
things.
I think if he has $5,000 to spend, again, I'm not an expert on this field, but if he
Yeah.
has $5,000 to spend, he needs to figure out where is the next trade show for this kind of things. You
Mhm.
know, like whether it's in Las Vegas or some California convention or something. He needs to spend it on $3,000, $2,000, buy a ticket to the trade show, go through the whatever attendee list or like delegate list or whatever they call it, list or whatever, like go through that and arrives there literally like 5, 6 in the morning before the doors open. Have a list of all those guys. Try to make sure he reaches them a week before and back-to-back schedule meeting during that convention center day, that convention day. You know what I mean?
Old nugget right there.
That's what he needs to do. And that's what I don't want to do.
All right. So I
that's
guess,
that's how I think this business is won. I mean, I know in B2B
yeah.
that's how you can win a lot of business that way.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that.
Right. So basically, we're not going to be doing this as far as us shouldering the risk, but if you wanted to pay a management fee and the ad spend, then I guess we
Yeah.
could test it
Yeah.
out.
And our management fee usually is $5,000 a month
Yeah.
minimum. But I mean, I know he doesn't have 5,000, but just so like if he spent $1,000, $2,000 budget. Do you know any idea how much his budget is?
Um,
It's not going to be 20 grand a month.
it's not going to be 20 grand, but I mean,
Yeah.
he could do probably like 2 to 3,000 a month,
Yeah,
but
that's what I mean. So like charging him $2,000 to manage his $2,000 budget just doesn't make
right. Yeah, so it's gonna be like 4 grand total. Which
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. One of those deals could be worth $4,000. So if he could
Sure.
get one of those a month, he would break even.
But
And
hold on a
then
second. But that's what I mean. If he does retail, I'm sure he will eventually get to those deals.
yeah,
Like if you are, look at it this way. We say we can do 30 leads a month, I think, 20 something, 30, 30
20.
leads a
I
month.
think yeah, 20 and 30 leads.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just say we do 30 leads a month. So 30 leads a month means you are doing let's just say all of them are residential. Okay. $150 jobs. Okay. If you're doing $150 jobs at the rate of one a day, there is really good chance some of them going to be more than $150. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm sure some of those solar panels are going to be cracked when you go clean them up. You know,
yeah,
I'm sure some of those solar panels need some sort of an extra maintenance. I'm sure some of these guys who have these solar panels need to have their whatever the electrical system inspected or checked and stuff like that. So all those guys going to be. So what I mean is that I'm sure when you're doing one a day, among those there is going to be a couple of $2, $3, $4,000 items.
that's what I was telling him.
Yeah, but the only way you can do those is if you take all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If you take all of it, then you can land those few 10 grand, 4 grand, 2 grand jobs. You know, you can't just say, no, I don't want any of them. I only want the 2,000 plus jobs when it comes to residential.
Yeah. That's the thing is like I think he just doesn't want to do the residential cleaning, but there's plenty of other people that would probably gladly pay if they could get one, client a day. I don't know.
Yeah. So that again, so those are the guys who actually become successful and grow big too. Because that's the thing. The only
Yeah.
way you can grow big is if you're able to manage that volume and then slowly build on top of the higher margin jobs.
Right.
You
Like
know?
in all, if even if you're breaking even, that's not so bad, right?
Yeah, on the low ticket
On
jobs,
the
like
low ticket jobs, yeah, and then one comes along and that gives you an extra couple grand a month.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no doubt.
exactly.
I
But
don't know.
you have to go through it, and breaking even though on those jobs is also not that easy.
Yeah, true. So, all right. Well, I guess that's the nail in the coffin for that one.
Yes.
So you got to say no to some of these jobs sometimes. We don't want to take a risk on that. So, all right. Next thing on the agenda. We're pretty close to acquiring a deal with a professional athlete.
Okay.
I don't want to
Yeah.
spill the beans here on it yet because we haven't actually signed the contract. But I want you to just give me like, in 5 to 10 minutes, how are we gonna go from 0 to 50K profit in the first year with physical goods only?
So it would be a lot of ad spend
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of remarketing.
Like remarketing or retargeting?
No, sorry. Well, retargeting and remarketing, yeah.
Oh, okay. Are we going to?
And it would also include um, directing traffic from different sources to different sources too, like at the very high. Like, so for example, you can people coming from YouTube, you pixel them and then you show them ads on Facebook and stuff,
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's considered retargeting, right?
Yeah, but I mean, so like, but you're not just retargeting on the same network, you're retargeting in other places too.
Okay. And are we going to be doing email as well? Will we be trying to do like build a
Yeah,
list?
for sure. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
And SEO as well.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so essentially paid ads, YouTube, obviously, we're just probably going to be like the primary source. Retargeting on multi-channels, so we'll be doing like media buying for different websites and stuff like that. SEO and email marketing. So we'll do like probably like what, have some sort of lead magnet on the website, on YouTube.
Yes.
Will he have to structure his videos differently? So like when we start doing it, we'll have to tell him, hey, this is what we want you to put at the beginning of the videos now.
Well, yeah. So the only objection I have to that the question is the word have to, because it makes it kind of hard to answer.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it will depend on the numbers. That's what it will depend on.
Like if he's just doing what he's doing right now,
Yeah.
and we don't tell him to change anything that he's doing, can we still hit that target?
I don't know. The answer to your question, I don't know. Like if anybody tells you yes for sure, I would say they're full of shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I have intuition, but if you're asking me if I know or not, no.
Right,
Am I
right.
willing to bet on that it will? Yes, like we are betting on it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like of course I don't know. Like I don't know. There's a good chance that it will depend a lot on how much trust is with him and his audience, like how, like what do they see him as? Do they see him as kind of like just um, a teacher or like some guy who's cool on YouTube to watch his videos because I don't know, he's just like a cool guy and I like to be friends with him, but I'm not willing to buy any kind of like socks or like soccer equipment from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or
So
other things, So like I don't know, there's a risk. But
now,
yeah, that's why I was saying that info product thing is important because if people are watching their videos, by the way, I got a 10-minute warning.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Uh,
watching the clock.
yeah, it is. So if based on what I see, obviously, because obviously they are on his YouTube channel because they kind of like the guy. Like anybody who watches any YouTube video of anybody, back of their mind they're thinking, "I want to be friends with this guy." Okay, like unless you kind of looking up how to clear your, I don't know, the gasket on your washing machine or something. But if you're subscribed to a channel, you watching it because you're thinking, man, you know what? I wish I was friends with this guy. So if you have a common interest that you have expertise in, which in this case, that's definitely a yes, then you can say, you know what, we can also be friends, as in, hey, we are close. Like I mentor you to kind of like achieve your fitness goals or like that sort of stuff, because those are the stuff obviously you're interested in. And guess what? I'm interested in. And we can have more interaction that way. And part of this is also comes friendship. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
For a
So
certain price,
that's,
though.
I know they'll pay for it because they're subscribed to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying info product. That's why it's a giant thing, because the info product, the only reason info product is good is not because of people suddenly decided to learn different way as much as think. Oh yeah, this is all my opinion. I may be wrong. That's definitely a part of it, especially with COVID. That's definitely a big part of it going forward. But also, I want to learn things from somebody that I also kind of like want to be friends with. You know what I mean?
Right. It's that
Now you get to
relationship.
choose. Before you couldn't. Like you go to university or like whatever, you want to become a fitness athlete or be good at basketball or whatever. You go to a gym and then suddenly there's a guy. Suddenly some of these guys, especially like school varsities, you don't get to pick who your fitness coach is, you know. But
Right.
suddenly with the internet, yeah, I mean you kind of can, you know. There are like 10 of them
Yeah.
at least. You're like, okay,
Well,
so let's pick the guy who's cool.
the the other channel too. I remember last time we did the show, we were going to talk about valuing a YouTube channel. And when
Mm-hmm.
I was doing some digging onto the other page that he had sent me, I was going through the descriptions on some of the videos and I saw that they actually had virtual products already. So if we end up acquiring that channel,
Oh, the other channel, yeah.
yeah, the other channel, what would you do with the virtual products that that channel has in all of their videos? Because they have like 600,
Uh,
700 videos.
Sorry to be so political. Again, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to see the numbers. One of the reasons that like we are overall just successful has little to do with our execution and speed. I mean, obviously, all that sort of stuff is part of it. But the most important part about it is when is we understand this game is about stats and numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so easy when you see it, like when you see the numbers, when you care about the numbers, like when you have metrics that you can track, it's so easy to answer all these questions, you know.
Yeah. That's true. Because we don't really have access to the analytics, like the full scope of the analytics.
Yeah, like I want to know how many days. So I mean, I know it can be improved if they have traffic. By the way, that deal, I don't know if I can announce it or not, but actually we acquired it. We wired money yesterday.
What
The
are
one
the
that I was telling you last week about.
what are the initials?
I'll send you information about it later, but
Okay.
yeah. So if they have real traffic, this is what I was going with this. If they have real traffic, not like fake bots traffic, not not like the viewer of this channel, but if they have real traffic, I know it is, what do you call it, under monetized. I just
Right.
know it,
Right.
I just know it because we're so good at this, and I've never seen anything that's even, I don't know, 20% monetized. You know, actually, you know what? I've seen some stuff who are literally doing 70% of the similar stuff that we're doing, but those stuff like I don't know, 4 or 5 of them. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're very, very rare, and they're not influencers. That's another thing. They are not influencers. They are not built because they thought making videos is such a cool idea. You know,
Right.
it was not because of that. They made the video, they made the YouTube channel or the Instagram and stuff like that because they were a business and then they want to make money. You know what
Right.
I mean?
There's
So
an
it's kind
intent
of,
there.
it's dude. I sent the stuff to Saeed, and you know what I told him about the YouTube course? The what was the Graham Stephen guy?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is,
Gram 7.
Graham Stephan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Graham Stephan. So I told him this is YouTube SEO. That's what I told him.
Yeah.
Because to me, right now, a website like Mr. Beast,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or it's just an SEO project.
Oh, you're
It's
talking
just
about Mr. Beast's YouTube channel?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just an SEO project. But instead
Yeah.
of on Google search engine, they're doing it on YouTube search engine.
Yep.
But it's an SEO project. This guy has a cool blog with like kind of like a website that people, it's kind of like an entertainment. It's kind of like Instagram, or sorry, Netflix kind of.
Yeah.
It's just a content. It could be anything. But at the end of the day, it's an SEO project. Okay.
Yeah.
So people who get in early, they have the advantage of they can just be themselves and then suddenly it kind of picks up. We talked about that Scotty guy who's like the car mechanic, which I love.
Yeah.
You know, so but a lot of people today, they either really kind of like cool guys, which means they have like the whatever type A personality and stuff like that, or number B, you can pay for a lot of SEO projects. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
You can do all that sort of stuff. So if
Kind
it's the
of
second
like how
tip,
you were
I know.
explaining with the front runner for the brands, how they'll hire like somebody to be the representative.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You pay for this guy, you pay for shout out, you pay to interview this guy. I mean, maybe you just don't pay him with money, you pay him with other things like for example, like I don't know, my friend or like my previous works and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pull some strings, as they say. But if a guy or a girl is interviewing 4 or 5 people that are like famous, dollar has been exchanged. The guy,
Oh, for sure.
unless the guy, the big guy is, I mean, the
Well,
small guy.
Do you think Graham Stephan paid like Kevin O'Leary for an interview or
Now?
Mark Cuban?
No,
Yeah. Oh,
no,
okay.
because right now it's pretty big. But
Right.
if there you find a channel with 50,000, 100,000 people interviewing Kevin O'Reilly, he has been paid.
Got it. Got it.
Not maybe directly, but he has been paid. Like, hey, we've been friends for like 10, 15 years. My cousin wants you to do an interview for his YouTube channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It may be that way, but some exchange of value has been done. It's not
All
a
right.
favor. It's
Well,
not a common interest. Because look
I'm
at it from Kevin O'Leary. Because why the fuck would you want to come on a channel that has 50,000 subscribers?
yeah, it's not worth his time.
Exactly. So like you
You
have
got to
to
pay for his
think about
time. If it's not worth his
exactly
time, you have to pay for it.
the way you make money. This is how you make money. It's very simple. Try to come up with a way that the other guy makes money.
Yeah.
It's a very easy thing.
Right. Like you have to provide value somehow. That's how you
And
make
the
money.
other guy has to make more money than you. You know, that's the
Yeah.
second part a lot of people don't understand.
Right.
Not maybe cash wise, but he has to have, if he's buying it from you, what does it mean? It means
You can make money off it.
exactly, if he's buying it from you, it means dollar wise to him it has more value than it does to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Whether it's real or perceived.
Exactly. So in a kind of like anything you're talking about in terms of business, when you see other people, you want to start making money, make sure the other guy makes money and make sure the other guy makes money more than you.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be 10 to 1 or 100 to 1,
Yeah.
but it has to be more.
Right. Right.
You know?
All right. Well, hey, I'm watching the time here, and I do want to have a couple minutes for us to just.
We can go on for another 5 more minutes because I have not been.
The door hasn't been kicked in yet.
Yeah, exactly. There is no. It's all quiet on the Eastern Front or Western
Yeah.
Front.
Getting a little late though. Well, so let's talk about just real quick when you see the stats for the athlete with 700,000 subscribers, and then you see the stats for the social media influencer, that girl with 500 something thousand, what, like, are you able to sort of tell almost immediately sometimes? Like, do you have a gut feeling? Obviously you have to crunch some numbers, but you can kind of tell whenever something is under monetized.
Uh, no, I mean, oh, like by just looking at it from the outside.
Right, like you know how I sent you all of the all the
Yes.
stats and the analytics, and then you're like, okay, you know, based off your experience, based off your expertise, you just know, like basically then or right then and there if it's
If I see it
worthwhile or
once,
not.
I would say no. Like I would say 80% of the time, yes, but the 20% of the time, which is rare, is that if they're actually trying different things.
Mm,
But then if you have just one snapshot in the view, like you know what I mean? Like they may try something like every 2 weeks,
yeah,
you know. And one of the things you try also is literally just shutting everything down for a 2 week period to just make sure uh, there is like some kind of like a control for the data. You know
mm.
what I mean? So you
What
have to
would you
have like
shut
a
down?
baseline, huh?
What would you shut down?
Oh, like for example, selling anything. You're
Ah,
like,
okay.
hey, for 2 weeks, I'm just gonna not sell anything. You know, like I remove the course from being able to be purchased. Limited thing, you know. So you don't even put the link in the description.
And you're
You know
just
what I mean?
monitoring engagement.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yes.
see.
You know, and so, especially in social media these days, people appreciate that too. Sometimes, you know, it's like just like, oh, this is a cool guy. He doesn't sell for me. Like he doesn't sell anything. But then every 5 videos, the guy is selling phone cases. You know,
Right, right. Oh,
shout
hey.
out to MKBHD.
MKBHD doing big things.
No, but
Yeah.
I love that guy, by the way. You know,
Yeah.
I think he's brilliant.
Right.
And I don't think selling is a dirty thing at all. You know, but if I see from every 5 cent 10 videos that he's doing it, I see, but and then the other part about it is also that's part of his brand. You know, if MKBHD suddenly tomorrow goes Russell Brunson, I mean,
Yeah, hey,
man,
buy ClickFunnels, you know, buy my software. You'd be like,
exactly,
what the
like does
heck?
his hype ads and stuff like that. Like a lot of people who watch his channel,
He has
they don't
mass
like it.
appeal.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so but that's why they're following him. They're not following the dude who's doing it that way. You know,
Right.
that's why they're not following Russell Brunson. They're spending their time watching him. But what I meant is the long story is that if I just see the 3 4 videos that there is no selling going on, I'm gonna be like, hey, this guy is not monetizing it at all properly because at least you gotta sell phone cases.
You have to sell something. I mean, come on.
Yeah, this phone case says with the other off brand, you know what I mean? That hopefully you own
Yeah.
at least part of,
Yeah.
you know, you don't, you got problems there. But if you do, at least you have to own the brand that's selling on your channel, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
not all, but you have to have equity. But if I don't see that transaction one every 5 video that he does it, then because he doesn't even post a link in the description, he doesn't even mention it, there's nothing, you know.
Well, so
I would
what
think it's undervalued, but then if suddenly there's like, no, you know that phone company, I actually own 80% of it, the 20% owned by an operator. That's
oh,
why we do this and stuff like that. That is the selling arm of this channel. Why the hell do you think I'm talking about this phone company?
right,
I'm going to
right.
be like, you know what, man, you got it nailed down.
I think a
But there's
lot
no
of
way for me
these
to know on this line. No,
like a
unless
lot of these social media people, they don't have equity in any of the companies that they promote for the most part.
yeah, a lot of them are 23 years old kids, man.
Right, right. Are I mean, do you see those kids as opportunities to really optimize monetization and make a lot of money?
Yes, we are actually trying to do something like that. We're trying to do a roll up, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, that's a great idea. You know what? I'm gonna help you make money, and you're gonna make more money than me. That's how you make money. You know.
Like
But then
giving
so, like you
like
go to them
yeah.
and say, "Hey, buddy, I'm gonna help you make money, and you're gonna
Mm,
make more money than me." But we're talking about $50 million here. You know,
right.
$10 million of $50 million is still a really big number. You know,
Yeah.
that's the trick. That's the trick.
Hmm. Just take your piece of the puzzle and you're piggybacking off of their influence.
Yes, but I mean, in general, in business,
Piece of the pie.
have a small piece of a bigger pie, and the biggest piece of the pie has to be with the guy that you have cold call approach.
Yeah.
You know, yes,
Hmm. All right.
or that's what I think. But so far has been good. I mean, I'm sure there are other ways too, but
Yeah. Well, oh, the I forgot to tell you, I took Brian Dean's SEO That Works course. I've been going through that. It's pretty
oh,
good.
okay.
It's pretty good. I've got some good tips for our stuff.
You should also dedicate more time to your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's like I just like I explained to you last time. It's like because I do Shopify, there's only so much I can do with like the holster store. You
Okay,
know?
here's a radical idea. Then don't do Shopify.
Yeah, do
if it's
regular SEO.
if it's not working, I don't know. How did Logan Paul got famous?
Entertainment. We're in two vastly different industries.
Yes, but dude, you try different thing until it works. I mean, it doesn't have to be suddenly going from here to there, but talk about, great thing you can talk about. I just talk about some of the projects you have, like talk about how to value a YouTube channel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Talk about what are the stuff you talk, how to start a newsletter. Talk about that. Hey, we're trying to start a newsletter doing this. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
don't have to keep talking about Shopify SEO if it's not working.
Yeah. That's
You know?
true.
So that's the point. And what is the I was reading about this guy, brilliant guy. I forgot his name. It's like one of these YouTube kind of like characters,
Mhm.
1 million subscriber in 1 year.
Oh yeah, yeah. I read a couple stories like that
Yeah.
on Google.
Yeah. So whatever that guy's doing, I mean, I see YouTube channel in this niche, which your channel's niche in, growing at 10% a month.
Mhm.
Okay. And you know what, Roy? Since we own half of this channel, I tell you what, if you come to me and you tell me, hey, Sina, I'm growing at 10% a month, I don't give a shit what you do. I'm not even going to ask a second question.
Well,
I'm
hey,
going to be like, Roy, I don't know. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But here's a bunch of more money. Go all in.
Yeah, I don't know. I have some like I just have like some what is it called? False beliefs about like the YouTube channel and like just past advice that I've heard from people. So I have to like unwire that a little bit. But
dude, again, comes back to the same thing. Because listen, the important part about it is I'm talking about on some fundamental basis that has to be built.
Yeah.
Back to the conversation we had 30 minutes ago. What did I tell you makes it really easy to navigate this whole thing? Is when you have the numbers. You have to have numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Other
That's
videos,
the only
other
thing
channels.
that matters. That's when you start trying different things. You know what? I had these many subscribers at this point. I look at the numbers. What's the engagement rate of my YouTube video? Like, what is the click-through rate? What's my subscriber before and after? How fast it took for this video to get to 100 views? How fast it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have these numbers, then you start trying different things. But do not try different things if you do not have those numbers, because you're flying blind, as Abdul says very nicely. You are flying blind. And when you're flying blind, stop right away.
Very true.
Don't keep flying. First, make sure you're not blind anymore.
Yeah. My goal really is like do like one video a day. Like when I wake up in the morning, you
don't have to do a video a day. You have to do more video, but you can't do a video a month. But know the numbers. That's the important part.
I guess a video a week, like doing some research and then
putting together something. I actually think a video a day is even too much, because especially these days the videos are highly produced.
Right.
Not edit and script and shoot everything a video a day and produce it and put it out there and track damn numbers on top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do a video a week or a video a month, but make sure not only, first of all, it's a great video, make sure it's a good video and there's actually something there. Number two, track the numbers. These are the two things you need to do.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm going to tell you, it's so easy.
Yeah.
But you have to have this too.
What if I made videos for like, kids who are deciding whether or not they should drop out of college?
Yeah, dude. I don't care.
I'll make a video. I'll be like, why I dropped out of college.
I tell you what, we're gonna have this conversation again, probably like a few times. The last question I'm gonna ask you would be, what are the videos about?
Yeah.
Because I don't care. You tell me this video is about A, this video is about B. I'm not gonna ask you what A and B means. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, what are the numbers? What's the view rate?
Yeah. Okay. I'll experiment. I'll write it down.
Yeah.
Experiment with different topics for YouTube videos.
Yeah. I mean, just make good ones.
All
Just
right.
make great YouTube videos. Make the best YouTube video you can make. Make it 10, 20 minutes and then see how long people watch it.
Okay. All right. So overall recap today. Don't do lead gen PPC for B2B. That's about it. I don't know what else to say. I mean, we don't really have a solid plan for our athlete on YouTube, but that's
No,
about it.
we do have a
today.
solid plan. We're gonna look at his numbers.
We do. I'm sorry.
As solid as it gets.
We have a solid plan, but we don't know the exact stats per month and numbers and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
I have 10 solid plans. Based on the numbers, I have to decide which one we're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, everybody, we'll catch you.